As a social justice organization, advocacy is at the core of Soul City Institute's agenda. Our advocacy work is a commitment to use the provisions of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, including laws and policies, to ensure that human rights of young women and girls are promoted and protected. Soul City's focus is to address discrimination, violence against women and girls, as well as safeguarding their access to sexual and reproductive health and rights, both from the public and private sectors. Raising Voices Coalition was launched in 2017 and is a movement of young girls and women across all 9 provinces in South Africa.
My name is Hlengiwe Khoza. I'm a social mobilizer for Soul City Institute.
My name is Katiso Khobe. I'm a member of Davidson, and this is where I reside.
My name is Rosemary Sisalezi. I'm a member of the Rise Club in school.
The coalition is committed to building communities which value young women and girls and communities that care about their well-being, growth, and development. A key component of such a community is the safety of all its members. The Raising Voices Coalition believes that safety and security are basic needs of each person and that our lived experiences show that without safety, we don't have freedom of movement, which limits our access to school, work, and health facilities.
We work in primary schools as well as high schools. So in primary schools, we facilitate what we call Soul Buddies clubs. And then in high schools, we particularly focus on young women, which is Rise Young Women's Club. So basically, we've got our own curriculum, we've got tools that we use. So we have meetings with girls to basically discuss social ills and issues that young women actually face in the community and their surroundings, and basically provide them with the skills to actually develop themselves and conscientize them of their rights as young women in South Africa.
As young women and girls in the Raising Voices Coalition, we understand that Article 3 of the Human Rights Declaration and Section 12 in Chapter 2 of the South African Constitution means that all people, including girls and young women, should be able to walk freely without any fear of being violated in any way.
It started in 2017, which was like 3 years ago. So what we had was a very high rate of femicide. So there used to be some ritual killings and there were body parts of women being discovered at this very park. So it started off as probably just 1 or 2 abusive boyfriends, but then just to find that there actually was a serial killer that was actually mainly particularly targeting women in this area.
I feel like it's rape, women getting assaulted.
And then in my community, the main issues we go through is as gender-based violence against our community is the fact that there's a lot of, well, for lesbians there's a lot of correction rape, and for a lot of gay people there's a lot of bash, a lot of discrimination.
So obviously a lot of women are coming back from work around this time, and as you can see in the surroundings, there are shacks and there are bushes, and I feel as though the municipality has to somehow be involved in actually making sure that a park remains as a park but not as a hotspot for crime, and especially looking at the rate of gender-based violence at this day and age. It really is a very, very unsafe environment. As you can see, there's also kids in the background that are playing. This should be a safe environment. Things such as the grass is too long, there's pollution, there's a car wash right there which is mainly operated by males, and there are no systems being put in place to actually ensure the safety of women that actually utilize this park.
Hello everyone, my name is Numabut and I work for Soul City. We're advocating and raising voices on a situation facing our community. Our community in Guyasa Station has a big, massive protest on crime. And there's high schools that are situated with schools cross the bridge and they cross over the station each and every day to go to school. Early mornings, there's robberies. Late nights when our parents come back from school, even when our kids attend after school classes, they have a trouble of crossing over the bridge.
We believe that the right to safety extends to and includes all the municipalities we live in. Importantly, we believe that all young women and girls should live their lives without fear of being exposed to violence. So through using a research tool called community mapping, Members of Rising Voices Coalition identified hotspots and unsafe places and established what community assets such as police stations, clinics, schools, and government offices are present in their communities. Several locations were reported as being environments where women felt unsafe. There are many factors that contribute to women feeling unsafe in their communities, and these include little to no sufficient street lighting at night. These areas have no marked pickup or drop-off zones for public transport. Most of the roads are gravel. Women and girls have to walk long distances to get to an area where vehicles are able to pick them up. There are minimum healthcare centers. Others are inaccessible because of distance, and they're not always sufficient to meet community needs.
Since renal problem ya clinic ko rona, like we travel maybe 5 kilometers from Jonas to Drehas. And sometimes I go clinic in setting it. Ba tlhaloganye gore like go travel a distance e kae o palama bokae go tswa Jonas o ya Drehas. And then like ha go le bosigo o batla like go ya clinic maybe ngwana go bona gore go na le someone o bola go family tla no patela 300 or 400 for a taxi go go tsa go ganya.
The routes that young girls and women have to travel to get to healthcare facilities and to get to police stations are dark, secluded, have long grass, and have no security. These problems undermine the safety of young women and girls when they need to move between parts of their communities, particularly when needing to access public services and or seek job opportunities. Local government is an important sphere of government as its responsibilities and duties impact on the daily lives of communities. The lack of service delivery is acute for poor communities and more so women who face the consequences the most. The development agenda of municipalities is outlined and budgeted for through processes called integrated development plans. It is therefore important that women's voices find expression through the integrated development plans, also known as IDPs, by participating in the development and execution of local government IDPs. However, participation by women has proved to not be an easy process, even though the Municipal Systems Act of 2000 makes provision for participation of communities and women specifically in the areas of the municipality that include development of integrated development plans.
Hi everyone, this is Annalisa, a social mobilizer from the Western Cape. The actions that we took, Tina, we went to the Ward Councillor's office trying to express issues zethu, and we were not attended to. Even with the colleagues that were with him, never attended to our problems. Only the cleaner that was part of the chit chat that was happening actually listened to us. Some the issues we have, and then she then went to a councillor, but unfortunately he refused and set an appointment with us, which we need to return a month later. And we also went to youth desk, wanted to be part of the meetings, so we then raised our problems, seeing that they affect also not just everyone else, but especially the Rehas young girls who are situated within that school, and who also have to walk and cross the bridge every day to get to school, to get to the clinic, and to get to their homes, and also attend and go to the library. So when we Sifika Pana, we were told we should join the youth desk so we can discuss anything that's being discussed in that, and we also should be part of a political party, which we're not part of. And Tina, the only thing that we wanted them to listen to us, see the issues that we have with SA station, and also get people patrolling, like law enforcers, USAPs also being visible, not only just passing through the bridge, but visible throughout XANE and during the day when other kids are going to the clinic, because you find that abandoned get to school and then they are sent to the clinic whenever they're not okay, or whenever they need to access any services that is provided at the health facility.
My name is Tepisa Monica Musala Shopping in Mafikeng from the Northwest Province, and I was part of the Raising Voices Advocacy Coalition. And as part of our advocacy work, we had to attend the IDP review with the local municipality. They advertised the review on the newspaper, and then we attended the review, but we were told not to say anything or to give opinions or ideas. We were told to just sit and listen. even though we wanted to ask questions about the items which were on the IDP, which we knew nothing about, or the community members knew nothing about, we were not given a chance to say anything. The operation is still on. Decisions are taken on our behalf. We are not given a chance to say anything or to give out opinions and ideas on what should be written on the IDP.
Hi, my name is Ntabisa Mutsuning. I'm from Kokwa in the Eastern Free State in the Thabo Mofokeng district. I'm part of the Soul City Coalition members. We have identified unsafe spaces for young women and girls, and the spaces are as follows. These are the spaces that are close to where we live. These places are the footpath between Namahadi Police Station and Namahadi Clinic, the open space between opposite the Mohali Primary School, the open space between the factories in Mandela Park and Putadichaba, as well as the open space in Moedin. These spaces are actually unsafe for women because they have long grass, they have uncut long grass, the long uncut trees, as well as no lighting. And we have addressed the matter with the relevant stakeholders. We went to the speaker's office with no help that we got, because we were not allowed to speak to her, but we were allowed to speak to her PA, who was clueless and was of no help when coming to the issues that we were to address. And then we went to another office, but we were sent from pillar to post, as the municipal does not actually know of its structures. They do not know who's responsible for what. And then thirdly, we had meetings where we'd actually invite these officials, but they would not come. And there were times where we'd go to the meetings when they held meetings within the communities, but they would not award us a chance to actually speak. And the municipality is still under administration, so that was the hugest, that was just the excuse that we'd get from time and again. And I'd like everybody to know that we will not stop to advocate for safe spaces for young women and girls, and we will ensure that we still continue and do everything in our power.
This lack of participation by young women and girls in local government impacts negatively in the planning and budgeting for gender-based violence and sexual reproductive health and rights. Research conducted in areas such as Khayelitsha and Gugulethu into women's participation in these IDP processes found that a majority of women believe that there are no IDP projects in their communities, and another study in 3 municipalities in KwaZulu-Natal found that women have not been invited to participate in IDP-related processes as a distinct constituency. The status quo of women's exclusion is exacerbated by the absence of rolling out institutional mechanisms within local government to mainstream gender-responsive planning and budgeting. In 2007, COGTA introduced the Gender Policy Framework for Local Government, detailing institutional arrangements to address gender-related issues. However, these intentions outlined in the Gender Policy Framework have not yet been realized, although the policy has been updated. Soul City Institute, together with the coalition, advocate that COGTA needs to review the poor implementation of its public participation mandate by municipalities, put institutional mechanisms in place that enable municipalities to adopt plans and budgets that address the GBV and SRHR crisis. Our objectives through the work we are doing through the Raising Voices Coalition is to build capacity of young women and girls to participate in local government planning and budgeting. We further want to facilitate young women and girls' participation in the IDP process of their local municipality to advance integration of gender-based violence and sexual and reproductive health and rights as into the municipal plans and budgets. We will continue to advocate for the realization of the needs and put pressure on the necessary departments and institutions that need to be held accountable in ensuring the development and implementation of successful Municipal Systems Act and ensuring the safety of young women and girls across all communities.